Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chapter 11, Lesson 9, where we are going to be talking about showing equal parts of a whole. And when we are talking about a whole, we are talking about a whole shape. So as you can see, this circle and this circle, I bet you can tell me which one has equal parts. Which one is it? I hope you're thinking it's this one because that's the right answer. When you look at this circle, you see that the line has been drawn right down the middle of it, which is showing equal parts to the whole. And so you can see where this side is the same as this side. And guess what? When there's just one line and it's split completely in half, those are called halves. And so this circle is divided into two halves. When you check this circle out, you can already tell that it is not equal parts because this line is not drawn down the center of the circle. So these parts are not equal. When you look at these two rectangles, you can see which one has equal parts because these are all spaced equally. This one is not. Do you think this triangle is divided into equal parts? When we look at the purple one, it looks larger than the blue triangle. So we know that the line is not dividing this triangle into equal parts. So I have divided this circle into halves. As you can see, that's how we spell halves, H-A-L-V-E-S. And this shows that the circle has two equal parts. All right, and if this circle has two equal parts, how many halves does it have? We have to count both sides, and so that would be two halves. I wanted to make this square into thirds, so I had to draw two lines in order to have thirds. That means that you have three equal parts. So when we divided that into three equal parts, we have how many thirds? 1, 2, 3. We have 3/3. I wanted to make this rectangle into fourths, so I had to draw 3 lines in order to have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. When we do this, we are creating fourths. And how many equal parts do we have then? We have 4 equal parts. If we have 4 equal parts to this rectangle, then how many fourths do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fourths. Colton and his friend want to share a pizza equally. Select a picture to show how the pizza should be divided. So if Colton plus a friend want to divide a pizza in half, there's just 2 of them, so we can see that the answer would be C because it would be Colton and then his friend. If Colton had 2 friends, he would have to divide it into thirds because there would need to be Colton and his 2 friends. And if Colton had 3 friends over, he would have to divide it into 4 pieces, so it would be Colton and his 3 friends. But thank goodness he just is inviting 1 friend over so we can have more pizza. I guess it's a pizza kind of day because there are 4 square pizzas and each pizza is cut into halves. We have to find out how many pieces of pizza are there. Let's go ahead and draw 4 squares and then we're going to divide them in half. And I'm sure most of you have already figured out the answer. We're going to divide it in half. And why don't we count by 2s? Because I love counting by 2s. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8. How many pieces of pizza are there? There are 8 pieces of pizza if we divide them in halves. Let's do a quick review. Find the shape that is in halves. We know that when we are talking about halves, there's just going to be 2 parts. And we can see that this triangle has 1 line and these are 2 equal parts. So when you see 2 equal parts, that is going to be called halves. Whoops, sorry about that. Halves. And don't forget that L, it's kind of a silent L. Halves. You don't hear the L, but you'll need to remember it. Let's look at B, this square right here. We have two lines and it has created three equal parts. And when we have three equal parts, it is called thirds. Thirds, and that's that IR sound together in that word, okay? And then when we come over to this square, you can see how we have made two lines and they have crossed each other and they have created four equal parts. When you have four equal parts, that is called fourths. All of these are tricky spellings. We just have to learn them. Fourths has that OU in it, so make sure you remember that too. So we have halves with two equal parts, thirds with three equal parts, and fourths with four equal parts. They want to know which shapes show fourths. They want you to select all that apply. Now, as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have four parts, but we have to choose the ones that have equal parts, which obviously you can see is going to be B and D because they are equal parts. These do have four parts, but they are not equal. I'm standing very tall because can you guess what's behind me? Math on the spot. I thought you might like to watch Professor Berger tell you a little bit more about Colton and now even more friends. So let's check it out.
Hey, Joey.
Berger!
Dress that way. You look great.
Hi there, Professor Berger. Thank you. I heard that we were going to do some baking in our riddle today for Colton and his friends. So I came prepared.
You are very prepared. I have to admit, I wish I had a hat like that. It's perfect. Let's take a look at the question together, okay?
Excellent.
Okay, so Colton and 7 friends want to share a cake equally. Okay, so our challenge is to draw and show how the cake should be divided.
Right.
Okay, so here's a copy of the cake, as a model for the cake, is this nice rectangle.
Nice.
And we want to actually cut it into, well, let's see how many pieces we need. Well, we have Colton and 7 friends, so all told, there's going to be 7 and Colton, that's 8.
Right.
So we want to cut this cake into 8 equal pieces. That means each piece will actually be an 8th.
Oh.
So let's do it. So the first thing I would do, there's lots of ways of doing this, but let me just show you how I think about it. First, I'm going to cut it into 2 equal pieces. And when I do that, I'm going to try to do it right now live. Right now live, 2 equal pieces.
You know, that's enough cake for you and me.
It sure is, that's right, because these are both halves.
Right.
So when you cut something into 2 equal pieces, you have halves, 2 halves. Now, if I cut across and take each of these pieces and actually cut them in half, and again, mine's not perfect, I'm doing it live, but you get the idea. Then, if I cut in half again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 equal pieces, and that gives me fourths.
Excellent.
Okay, now, if I cut this side in half again, notice that now, let's see how many pieces I have.
Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, but they're not all equal, are they?
No, they're not.
So we're not quite done yet, but if I cut this side in half, then all of a sudden, like,
Hey,
math.
look at that.
Exactly, check it out. Now we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they're all 8 equal pieces. And so what we see is that we have 8 equal pieces, each one is an eighth, and so we actually see that we have 8 equal pieces, each eighths.
Right.
And we see that if we have 8 eighths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 8 eighths make up a whole, makes up the whole cake. Exactly. And so what the answer is, Colton plus his 7 friends can each have 1/8 of the cake. And that's the answer.
Yay!
So, Chef,
everyone gets a piece.
So Chef Joey, did you like that?
I loved it and it made me kind of hungry.
I would really like to be Colton's friend right now. I think cake sounds really good. Maybe I'll make a cake today. Boys and girls, I hope you have enjoyed learning about halves, thirds, and fourths with all equal parts. I know you are going to be superstars at this and you are going to rock it out. So keep learning, enjoy life, and have lots of fun.